I know you all are tired of typical high school rom-com, so today I bring you this, and this. Our story begins with a street-wide manhunt for hipster boy who has yet to learn how to properly wear pants. Our boy licensed detective number 6 just so happens to have spotted this massive milk drinker when on lost child duty. As a detective, he receives full marks for adhering to the most stereotypical clothing choices possible. As of now, detective number 6 has cornered the large toddler, about to make an arrest. Unfortunately, the size of his balls weighs him down, so he trips over nothing. This creates a good opportunity for the criminal to run away, but too bad for him. A girl that defies gravity falls from the sky. As she lands, she wraps her fluffy thighs in smooth black stockings around the criminal's neck and takes him down. In doing so, she does not just jiggle the puffs, but also my heart. As a man full of dignity, I would have gladly taken his place just to feel those marshmallows around my... Excuse me, I meant we should definitely condemn criminal activities no matter the circumstances. This girl in fantasy hairstyle is Isshiki, codenamed Steel, an ace police inspector of the city. I bet there will not be so many people yelling to defund the police if she is the icon of the force. It's simple, just waifu everything. The pathetic license number 6 expresses his gratitude only to receive the cold butt from her. After the incident, our detective, Meishi Rokutanda, is now receiving a scolding from higher-ups for disrupting regular police investigation. As a mere detective whose priority is to assist local law enforcement in finding the suspect, he should not have been involved in the action of apprehending a suspect. Evidently, this is not the first time Meishi has failed to abide by the rules. A while later, the scolding continues. Meanwhile, Isshiki sees this event take place from afar and decides to intervene. She cuts it short by reminding the two of them to write their reports for documentation purposes. "That is the steel rinner for you," says a side character from off the screen. "I just have one slight problem with that remark. Is everyone in this manga blind? What steel do you see? Because the only thing I see are these fuwa. Anyways, she is Rina Isshiki, a half-British Japanese girl who skipped grades and graduated the top of her class. At just the age of 17, she is already a leading inspector in the police force. Always level and calm. Again, what part of this is leveled? She has all the attributes that I desire in a girlfriend, being a girl that breathes. Her tasteful clothing choice is the glazing on my donut. Oops, it seems like someone accidentally runs too fast with their mouth, mentioning something about a pair of lactose badonkas. A pen gathers supersonic speed and lands in between the two losers, putting them in their place. Sadly, Wolkun behind them did not survive the day, yet another insurance write-off for the police office, but I am sure the taxpayers will gladly pay out of pocket. Isshiki hands off her portion of the report to Meishi and reminds him that chasing down a suspect is above his pay grade. What if someone gets injured for his reckless behavior? All are valid points. I am sure our boy is speechless because he feels less worthy than a Dogecoin. Little did I know Chad is simply preparing for a... Such unexpected and audacious remarks turn Miss Inspector's cheeks bright red. Poor Meishi may be unaware of his situation, but the bystanders in the office already typed GG in chat. Pathetic they may be, they wouldn't allow their brother-in-arms rot in the Ishikusi, so they carry his ass off stage when Isshiki is still loading. They couldn't believe Meishi just committed felony cringe in front of Miss Fuwa. Little did they know the innocent Meishi was simply commenting on the cute bandage attached onto the report. The misfired compliment has a surprise effect on Isshiki. She has yet to understand why her heart flutters around Detective Kun. As a reader, I can certainly say it is not because of the two massive structures that may or may not have caused blood flow to concentrate. Miss Inspector cannot get the Meishi out of her mind. On her way back, the only thing she can think of is his compliment. She tries to understand what she is feeling, but because this sensation is completely new to her, she cannot affirm the emotion that has been troubling her. No more time to think about these trivial matters. As a model inspector of the police force, Isshiki snaps out of the mindless thought exercises and continues focusing on work. The plot certainly disagrees with the development in her head. The person who has been living rent-free in her mind is now in front of her. Our boy can fumble over nothing, but when bumping into someone, he is steady as rock. Meishi apologizes for being distracted when operating a human vehicle and offers his hand to the maiden on the ground. If we just look at how she is reacting to a mere hand, we may mistake this scene as something completely different, but I digress. Isshiki refuses to touch the hand of an otaku as it will get her pregnant. She chooses to stand up herself, but Plot-kun once again shows his displeasure over the development and corrects the timeline once again. The agile inspector trips over nothing and gives our boy maximum toddler treatment, applying testicular pressure against Meishi's face. At this moment, breathing is illegal. The pair enjoys a brief second of 69 and breaks up right after. Our girl has been naughty here. The brief touching just now has presumably made her desire a new pair of undies. Oh, what is she doing? Isshiki stands up after tidying herself. She grabs him by the necktie and drags him outside. If your boss asks you to slack off during work, is it really slacking off? 9. This is a paid date. The two of them are now sitting at a table outside of a cafe. Seeking the answer she so desires, Miss Inspector decides to consult a detective for what has been troubling her recently. When close to a certain someone, her heart palpitates. She does not want people to see her weakness. It is against her image of being the steel. But isn't it fine not being the steel everyone talks about? Just embrace your inner marshmallows, says Detective Kun. To him, she is as cool as ever, no matter how warm she actually is inside. She even slipped in a cute bandage inside the police report earlier, just for him. You are kawaii as f***. Above were the activation words for the anal beads hiding under her. Isshiki starts shaking uncontrollably. She wants Meishi to take those words back so she can stop the shaking right now. In panic mode, our inspector yells out the request for the detective to find the reason behind her heart pounding. Easiest billable I have heard in my life. It is because you are breathing yet, girl. Hearing the sound of money falling from trees, Meishi grabs her hand and agrees to this arrangement. Q3 revenue secured. At this moment, Isshiki knows she f***ed up and attempts to pull out. But boy locked in so fast she cannot finish the sentence. Oh, what is this? Juggers are saying goodbye to me. Once Isshiki leaves, the detective starts analysing the symptoms he hears. Why do they sound so cliché? Are these not the symptoms of anger management issues? Now that Meishi starts clocking in billables, Miss Inspector is always flustered. Wherever she goes, a paid stalker is always following her. She starts making mistakes during regular work, which is the exact opposite of her goal. Part of this great f***up includes sitting on a suspect's head with her thigh. If being a criminal means I get glistening thighs to sit on me, then count me in. Isshiki realizes she will need a new strategy. Maybe observing the source of her problem can help alleviate the situation. So she starts to reverse stalking the stalker. Sherlock number 6 panics for a moment after losing sight of his target. He notices a senior woman in need and decides to handle her problem. He then gets handled by the problem. Enough. As a capable human being, Isshiki can witness this level of incompetence no longer. She intervenes and scolds the detective for being so useless. Unexpectedly, Meishi seems rather happy to be scolded. Maybe he has a thing for harsh women? A moment of silence for the out-of-character actions she has just committed. 1, 2. Okay, we are ready to head back for work. She tells her co-worker not to worry about her flustered appearances as she is a fully functioning member of society. Sometimes being the leader means hitting the wall a few times for fun. You see, when your head is filled with determination, even walls crack under pressure. In short, Isshiki just crashed into a poster. When the day is finally over. Steel Rinna has some time herself to reflect on how useless she has been for the day. She slumps in a corner and questions her sanity. Why is she behaving so flustered suddenly? Is she meant to be a fuwa after all? As she reflects upon her actions, a figure approaches from behind. It was Japanese Sherlock Holmes. He was about to just observe from the shadows, but seeing the cute girl from behind made him come. Out from the shadows. You want to drink something hot? Asks the detective. Try my hot milk. Hot milk. Yes, this is exactly why she has special feelings about him. After an exchange of words, the pair decides to head home together. Isshiki feels sorry for showing only him her awkward side. But it is these awkward sides that Meishi finds intriguing and adorable as well. She is a hard worker, which Detective Kun finds especially attractive. Realizing what he has just said straight to Isshiki-san's face, he instantly starts deflecting words. Hearing these words, the steel Rinna cannot stop shaking. No one has ever said these words to her. Her heart starts pounding like naturally aspirated V8. Meishi suddenly thinks of a crucial piece of information missing. When did Ishiki's symptoms start showing? It was about 3 months ago. Both of them soon realizes that is when they first met each other. I know, right? What a coincidence. At this point, Meishi has probably figured out what is bothering the cute inspector so much. It must be awkward explaining what is happening to someone that is completely oblivious to love. He tells Isshiki that the feeling is nothing bad and should be taken preciously. The girl grabs him by the waistcoat, demanding an answer from the man who solved the mystery that has been so troubling. How ironic, a detective who cannot inform the client of his findings. Meishi escapes the conversation by bidding farewell to Isshiki, hoping the next time they meet she can forget all about this conversation. Rina carries on with her patrol duty, also taking the time to rethink her feelings. Her abnormal behaviors have not only been a hindrance to her own performance, but it is becoming a worry for her co-workers around her. Indeed, she simply needs to start acting normally again. But before she has time to fully contain herself, something interrupts her train of thought. A purse snatcher is running towards the inspector. If she does not move away, the robber will surely crash into her. Though she has the time to turn her head to see the situation unfold, her body may not react quickly enough. Out of nowhere, Meishi appears to save the young police from behind. Since the two of them are now touchy-touchy again, Isshiki's body starts acting up. Feeling the rapid heartbeat almost going through her throat, she can take it no longer. She gets up, runs through the crowd, completely ignoring his co-worker on the ground who just brought the suspect under control. Meishi reacts quickly. He runs after the Asuna doppelganger to ask a question. Fortunately, Plotkun strikes again. The clumsy dumbass trips over nothing, being granted a momentum boost, and flies towards the inspector. After a clash between two flesh vessels, we have this scene unfold in public. Meishi pins Isshiki firmly onto the ground, kneeling on top of her, as if they are about to conduct some nightly activities. What's surprising is that the milk jugs are so good that they are willing to defy gravity to maintain their outstanding shape and elasticity. The detective gets up from the ground, apologizing for his rash action. But before he can fully stand up, Isshiki pulls him back on top of her by the necktie and demands the answer she so eagerly seeks. Why is her heart racing so fast when she looks at the dumb detective? Every time she lays her eyes upon him, her chest tightens and starts acting weird, to an extent that she is no longer able to keep her normal functions together. She effectively becomes useless when Mr. Rokutanda is around. This shocking revelation means the detective is now aware that the mystery man capable of captivating the steel Rina is none other than himself. Pretty much a confession at this point. Rina continues with her outburst, spilling every bean in her bag. She is only so flustered whenever she is around Meishi. She doesn't feel like her usual self. All the throbbing in her chest has been a hindrance to her performance. Conveniently, an advertisement playing on the screen above their heads outright spelled the answer for them. In it, a man holds the hand of a woman, sincerely staring into her soul when saying these words, "Because you love me." Now the question is solved. This maiden is in love all this time, and even now the slightest movement from Meishi sends butterflies to her stomach. When Isshiki thinks about him, her heart won't stop pounding. If this is the proof she needs to convince herself that she has been in love, so be it. In a calming voice, Meishi says Rina's name. He pulls her up from the ground and informs her of the bad news. Since she solved the mystery herself, there will not be billables for him. Instead, he would like to propose another arrangement. After an internal struggle, Detective Number 6 finally speaks the magical words. "Would you go out with me?" This is how the love story unfolds between a pair of dumb couples, the beginning of something so incredibly sweet my dentist told me to microdose in caution. This concludes Chapter 1 of the manga. As of now, the manga has 39 chapters for your enjoyment. The name of the manga will be pinned in the comment below. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.